Welcome to the shooting show. This week it's back to the Highlands as another first timer takes on a Scottish hill stag.
Taking hopefully a nice stag up on the hill. First proper stalk. I've had a woodland stag before, but not really counting that one. So I think this is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a very well earned stag if I can put one on the floor for the boys and make them proud for taking me up onto the hill. And the weather's good. Got some good company and some good kit here, and hopefully I'll give it my best, and hopefully if everything goes nicely, might succeed in a nice deer on the floor.
I'm happy enough with that.
Mark Shone is our host as we take Andy up to the high tops for his first ever hill stag. The first stage of the journey is on the Argo.
Just jump in, guys. I'll put the keys in here as usual.
Before long, the easy ride is over and it's time to begin the ascent on foot. For an unfamiliar stalker, this lofty terrain can be daunting, but Mark knows the ground well and has soon formulated a plan of attack. Off we go.
The signs scattered all through, right the way up along.
Well, we've just left the Argo. We've come up through the wood, just 200-300 metres, just onto the edge. We've come out and there's some hinds just out of the wood here, but there's no stag with them. But what we are seeing is there's a stag holding hinds just up on. I would say that's another different stag, would you? That's further over. So this stag's up in there. The stag we're seeing holding the hinds just now, he doesn't look that big, but he's sort of in the shade, so it's hard to sort of really make him out. But we're heading that way anyway, so we'll go and have a look. What we don't know is going to happen is when we go out of the wood here, we're going to have to move these 2 or 3 hinds. I don't know which way they're going to go. If they run into the face, they'll push the stags further along, which, I mean, it's fine. They'll not go out of the face, they'll stay in there, I would think. But one thing I've learned over the years with the deer is you just never really know what they're going to do. It's a bit of a gamble.
The ascent is no easy task, but we soon covered a good distance. Briefly stopping to catch our breath, we take the chance to glass the likely locations with our Swarovski binos.
Yeah, I would say it's at least right enough.
Tucked up against the side of the...
Yeah, and that is where it shall stay. If we shot anything in there, you'd never get it out. You'll see them now on the skyline now.
Oh, but they're much higher. There's big stag.
It's much higher.
Andy's learning that stalking on the hill isn't all about shooting a deer. There's a whole experience surrounding the stalk, from the exercise to the scenery, which makes it truly memorable. But enough sightseeing, it's time to get moving again. Taking the direct path up, the boys head straight for the top. With the hard work done, it's time for Mark to take charge and get us into a stag.
We're carrying along, there's a bit of a gully just along here, we might be able to see further down. We've now come up onto the top. We've just stopped and had our lunch, and we've had a good spy, and we've actually found a couple of good shootable stags, so we're just going to have a look and see if we can get in close enough to get a shot at one. The one that's directly below us, we're going to leave just now and have a look to our right, because we've seen one that we think is just a brow switch, which would be a great one to get. So we're going to go and have a look for that. If we can't get into that one, then we'll drop down onto this one that's straight below us, and fingers crossed we'll get close enough and get a shot. Yeah, isn't it a right sort of switchy kind of? I should barely keep steady there, just enough to get a right good look. But he's definitely a sort of switchy looking thing.
We've seen a couple of really nice animals in the distance, and we've heard a few really nice calling, which is nice to hear. At the moment we're just sat above a couple of stags just below us, below the skyline, and we know there's another one round the corner which we'd like to go and have a look at. So I think, as Mark has already said, so I think let's go and have a look around the corner there, and if not, we'll try and drop back down, and hopefully if I can use my skills to get a bit closer and put one on the floor for the camera. But the scenery up here is fantastic, and the views just mind blowing. Just really pleased I come, and it's if anybody wants to do this, this is something that put on the tick list. Come and just enjoy it.
No, we need to be careful here. Can we just move back a little bit? Because with these sheep, just go back. Because with those sheep moving, if he looks up, he'll catch us straight away. Hopefully they'll just move up around the corner. He's definitely what we're after, like. He's a big mature sort of brow switchy type thing. I couldn't really make out to have a second brows or not, but he's quite a big head on him, like. Yeah, he's certainly what we're after. But those sheep are gonna mess it up for us. Well, I think positive. They won't mess it up for us. We may just need to give them a minute to settle down, because obviously with that one sheep ran across, and he's kind of looked up. So once he starts feeding again, we'll try and creep down.
We're going to use that sort of bank side.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. We'll see that ridge where the sheep are. Yeah, we'll use that as cover. Just come along above him. Just try and get in. Yeah, he was roaring a wee bit, and there's a wee bit of smell to him, but I don't think he was really going at it 100% yet. But he only had one hind with him, so I think probably a few days' time he would have been a bit more riled up. But he wasn't really doing much. He was just sort of stood there, giving a roar or two here and there. Luckily, he didn't move too far, and we managed to get down a little gully to him and get a shot.
That was good, that was. And when you were moving that one piece across, I had my foot on another loose bit and I was going.
There's nothing worse if you roll a substantial boulder down.
Oh yeah, well that's about logic in it. Even if you were a human, you'd go, "What was that? I'm off out of it." Coming down that scree slope was a bit of a nerve twitcher, especially with the odd rock twitching and tumbling down. And we got into position and could see the stag off to the right, and So we moved across, got up onto this bit of high ground here, and the stag was at the bottom there, and Mark gave it a roar and it stopped broadside, and the 3006 RWS did the job, and as you can see he didn't roll too far, he's just down there on that bit of scree, so I'm just waiting for the guys to come back down with the rest of the kit and hopefully a weed ram and then we'll go down and see how he is and get the growlock done and get the extraction done and get back to the lodge for a well-earned shower, a drink, good meal, and live the day again. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and up here on the glen, I mean, like I said, the sun is out, you can see the lock, the views there, and we've got other stags off to the left, stags off up onto the right there, and the rut's just starting by the sound of it. And for me, that's the first time I've heard it ever in my lifetime, and thank you. I've really enjoyed the day. Thank you.
Good feeling.
Yeah, that's my wish list, was to have a stag up on the hill, and I've ticked that box, and hopefully now it won't get too addictive.
Yeah, take them out across.
You've just got to adapt here really, and you know, sometimes they do fall into some awkward sort of locations, and you know, I mean, ideally you would pull them to somewhere where you can growlic them the way you would like, but it's not always as easy as that, so we would just have to do what we can where we can, and you know, try and make a clean job of it. Yeah, it is very typical of what we have here. Generally the deer are up usually around sort of 2,000 feet, they're dropping down onto them, and you know, if they don't fall very far, then you've just got to drag them, but it's not so much dragging as it is lowering. You know, we usually have two on the top side and one on the bottom, just sort of teasing it down, and two holding it back. You know, if you let it go, it would fall a long way and sort of do a lot of carcass damage.
Little babies compared to what you get down south. Uh-oh. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good day. The weather was good, good steady wind, and a bit of roaring, which was promising. And we're after a good sort of cull stag, sort of, you know, something mature, 8 years and above, preferably something with a poor head, which we found. We've got a 5-pointer there, sort of brow switch on one side, good one to take. I think he could have done some damage to some other stags in the rut, I would think. Yeah. I mean, you don't even start until you get up on the top of the hill. I mean, you're walking up some of the biggest hills in Britain before you even start stalking. So yeah, it's pretty difficult, but we'll get there.
Andy there, making a good job of his debut hill stag. And now, it's the Shooting Show News.
This is the Shooting Show News, brought to you by Gunplan. The pheasant season has begun, and shooting organisations are taking the opportunity to remind people of the benefits of shooting. Nearly 2 million hectares in the UK are actively managed for shooting, which is more than 10 times the total area of all national and local nature reserves. A sport involving more than 1 million people, shooting also makes a £2 billion contribution to the economy. The Countryside Alliance's Tim Bonner said we should be rightly proud of the good work done by shooters. Britain has won 2 golds at the IPC World Cup in Sydney. Tim Jeffrey and Roy Carter both secured top spot in their respective disciplines. And this means GB now has 6 quota places for the shooting events at the Paralympics in Rio next year. We could see Jeffrey there along with Ben Jesson, James Bevis, Lorraine Lambert, Matt Skelhon and Ryan Cockbill. The true cost of rural crime has been revealed, and gamekeepers say they aren't surprised. The National Rural Crime Survey puts a price tag of £800 million on crime in the countryside. That's 21 times higher than previously suggested. The NGO said this would come as no surprise to gamekeepers and called for more police resource to be dedicated to the issue. If you're involved in a shoot, don't miss iShoot magazine. And finally, could the NRA and NSRA work together more closely? The two associations recently met to discuss a claim over the uplift in value of the Lord Roberts Centre, and NRA council minutes reveal that they explored the possibility of a closer working relationship between them. They looked at the economics of scale that working together might bring about, but concluded that for now, the anxiety that would cause is not worth the financial benefit. That was the Shooting Show News.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of BASC, it's time to join now. BASC, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.